Reacher season 3 is a wrap. That's right. I can probably save you some time with this conversation. You don't really need to watch Reacher season 3. You pretty much can just watch Reacher season three's finale. That's right. The synopsis, the catch up, pretty much gives you everything you kind of need to know. And so little happens and makes sense, you're not really missing a whole lot, but you can save hours of your life because all of the contrivances, all of the misdirections and different things that are happening, it centers around this kid in this opening scene in episode 1. Remember that first 15, 20 minutes where you're like, Reacher doesn't act like Reacher, and it was actually all just a lie. And he was trying to save this kid to get in close to, Anthony Michael Hall. Yeah, that's actually Anthony Michael Hall. And turns out he's not actually the villain. He's a dupe as well. Hence the reason he's missing an ear. And it's all about some guy that Reacher is trying to get close to get revenge. There's a brief Neely here, but it's about this DEA. Sorry, you get confused because I don't know. They don't know what they're doing in putting this show together, in my opinion. This DEA person, Duffy, she has this on again, off again, really heavy Maine accent. She has used Reacher to get in to save some girl that was kidnapped because that was her informant. And we spent episode after episode supposed to be caring, and we never do. And then when we see her, I don't even know that she has 5 lines in the entire season because she's getting drugged by the kidnapper, the elusive Quinn. That's right, the guy that Reacher's after. This guy's just evil. We say he's evil enough time, he'll be evil. It's kind of like a Beetlejuice philosophy. If you just say Quinn is evil, Quinn is a monster, he's done evil things, he deserves to die, you say it enough times, you at home will just believe it. Half the things that are talked about are off camera. We don't get to see a lot of the things that make Quinn so evil. I've seen cartoons and characters and villains in cartoons that are more menacing and scary than this guy. And it is so uneventful. You're not going to believe how bad. So we get a great big shootout in this final episode. And Neely's coming to the help because there's all this big thing. It's not what you think it's going to be. So and so's there. So and so's going to get shot. This is what's happening. Don't you know it's a setup? Oh, wait. We're not going to completely change everything. And we're now going to have this big setup. Let's go undercover and try to figure things out. Scene. Now, the one thing they do set up is, hey, listen, Reacher is this big, tall, giant, intimidating human. It's been a joke through the first 2 seasons. I know what we'll do. Let's go find a larger, bigger human for him to fight. And it's been a couple of things that have been kind of good and bad throughout the entire season. Some stuff was spoiled in the trailer, so I don't think you would have come away as laughing or as moved by it as they intended because they put the stupid gag, one of the gags in the trailer. Their fight actually comes to head. By far the best sequence in the entire show. This was great. This was actually kind of like Marvel superhero type stuff with them actually going to fight one another. I don't know anybody else. I didn't need to see this dude running around in a wife beater thing. I just didn't need to see the rescue scene and his fight scene coming to a head this way. But everything is in this episode. Who's going to fight who? Who's going to rescue who? It's all going to come to a head. The recap catches you up. It's 51 minutes with credits. So watch the recap. Don't have to watch the end credits. And you can kind of get the entire show. And this is what's going to basically transpire. But what you don't want to miss is you just don't want to miss this fight scene and them going at each other on again, off again, in the house, out of the house. And literally at one point they go over the edge. And it all comes to a head. Reacher's going to get his guy. I wish I could tell you this is the first or last time we have Reacher's dumb face. Because that's also the new thing that Reacher does now is instead of always being smart and clever, he is smart and clever at times, but not as much. And he's randomly killing people and they're just, quote, bad guys. So it makes it okay, right? But they have these moments where they do a medium shot on his face and just go, I don't know why we're doing that. I don't know why we need dumb Reacher face. It happens multiple times in the series. And in the finale, it's absurdly used over and over again. I really had a hard time with the ending here. Duffy is basically giving him the I only kind of want to be friends. I use you for what you are thing. And he just gets to stand there and have dumb face. And then when Neely walks up and says, hey, well, what are you going to let her down? No, she let me down. And it's like the show has come off the rails. And again, if this is all true, good, valid adaptation of what Lee Childs wrote, that's fine. This should not have been adapted to the screen then. It should have been something completely shorter. It could have been part of another thing. I don't know if the characters come back or not. This really derails his character compared to the first introduction to him. The kid just kind of has time. Evidently, all the authorities are around everywhere, and somehow he has enough time and the wherewithal to just walk around, grab a bag of money, and leave, and no one cares. And he can go into their garage and just take a motorcycle, and no one cares. Like, I get some of the loosey goosey elements with the ATF and the DEA and who's going to do what and whose jurisdiction. And oh, by the way, they just killed like 40 people. And I want to forget and ignore all that. I just can't. It drags the show down way too much for me. So this is a theme kind of where I'm getting to lately is I feel like we're in just like an age of mediocrity. Like after season ones, there's a massive fall off for a season two. Usually there's some absurdity or something that they try to do. And it's the first show of, oh, we don't have as good of writers, or the story's just a little too wonky, or they do something crazy. By the time you get to season three, you're usually pretty bored, or maybe there's crazy agenda or some radical thing that happens that makes the character different. And Reacher being so loosey goosey with his morality, just murdering people endlessly, being obsessed with some guy. I mean, he tortured this girl from his past. I don't know why they never came up in the first two seasons. I have no idea why he didn't use his team or the team's skills or anything before now to deal with this guy. Presumably didn't know where he was, but it feels hard to believe with the way this show's presented because it's just like he just kind of like falls into it, I guess. I don't know. Oh, mediocre, but when shows are this bad, mediocre comes across as being pretty good. So I wouldn't be shocked. There's a lot of people that would give this show a very high score. For me, very midland and not particularly rewatchable. Not interested. If I had to rewatch anything, I'd rewatch season one. Probably would score it pretty solid. Season two, I really don't have massive interest in rewatching, but I would have to just hold my nose through a couple of fight scenes and the way it ended. It wouldn't be the worst thing. At least things are moving in a way that makes more sense. This was just a boring waste of my time. And then you just derail the character. And reality is, I can watch a couple trailers and watch the finale, and I know everything there is to know about Reacher season three. So that's my take on it. Love to hear from you guys. Did you guys like Reacher 3? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? I don't know. You guys will tell me. All right. I'm Pops. Thanks for watching, everybody.